Okay, so we've got a question here. We need to find R1 and R2, two regions on this graph. R1 here and R2 here. Now this curve is given as the function that y equals x times x plus 2 times x minus 4. So that's that one there. Now, looking at that, we can see that our intercepts will be at x equals 0. So that's a solution. So that's here. We got at x minus 2. So that's going to be here. So that's at minus 2. And at x minus 4, so that gives us a solution at x plus 4. So this will be plus 4. And then we're also given here, we've got a point B on this graph here. And B is given as b minus 2 squared times 3b squared minus 20b plus 20 equals 0. And that's the only information we're given about B so far. And obviously we've got this function here, R1 plus R2 equals 0. So basically the sums of these two areas is 0. So how are we going to find R1 and R2? Well, integration is going to be the key. So let's first of all, y equals x plus 2, x minus 4. First of all, we're going to need to FOIL out this to get the function. So let's distribute this x first, and we'll get x squared plus 2x. And then we'll distribute this with the x minus 4. So let's distribute the x squared first. So x squared times x cubed. X squared times minus 4 x squared. Now let's distribute the 2x squared, and minus 4 times 2x is minus 8x. Okay, now let's just simplify the like terms, and we got x cubed minus 4x squared plus 2x squared. That's going to give us minus 2x squared, and then minus 8x. Okay, now this region here we don't know. We just know that the end of this region is B. So we've got 0, but we've got B. So we can't put that in an integral. But we know these 2 points here are minus 2 and 0, and we know the function of this curve. So we can take the integral from minus 2 to 0 of this function. Okay, so these terms are all integrated via the power rule. So let's just go straight into it. So x cubed, add 1 to the power, and then divide by the new power. 2x squared, again, add 1 to the power, and divide by the new power. Same with this one. Add 1 to the power, and then divide by the new power. So divided by 2 will give us 4x squared. And that's just still over 1. And then minus 2 to 0 is our parameters. Okay. Plug in 0, all these terms, we get 0. And now we're going to plug in minus 2. So let's open the brackets. So minus 2 times x to the 4. So minus 2 squared is 4. 4 squared is 16. 16 over 4. Let's just write this down as we're going along. 16 over 4 is 4. Okay. Minus 2 into x cubed. That's going to give us minus 2 squared is 4 times minus 2 is minus 8 times 2. That's going to give us minus 16 over 3. And a minus here as well will give us a plus 16 over 3. And minus 2 into this one. Minus 2 squared is 4 times 4 is 16. So that's minus 16. Okay, all we need to do now is evaluate here, give us the root, so our answer, so we can find out what R1 is, and hence give it as R2. So these need a common denominator of 3. So this one will be 12 over 3. 16 over 3 is good to go. Minus 16 over 1 would then be minus 48 over 3. So 12 plus 16 is 28. Minus 48 is minus 20 over 3. So that's minus 20 over 3. Well, we've got a minus sign here. So we've got positive 20 over 3. And that is confirmed because this point here is going to be positive because it's above the x-axis. This point here is going to be negative because it's below the x-axis. So hence our R1 plus R2 equals 0. Let's just confirm that. So R1 equals 20 over 3. R2 equals minus 20 over 3. R1 plus R2, 20 over 3 minus 20 over 3 equals 0. So that's the first part of the question taken care of. Now we're going to have a look at what we can do to find this point here for B. Okay, so now we're going to look for this point B. So given the point B is here, we don't know where it is, but we know that the area of these two is the same. But we're given this function here, which I'm going to write down here. So f of B, let's write that a little bit better, b plus 2 squared, 3b squared minus 20b plus 20, and that gives us 0. So there's solutions to this for B, which will give us the intercepts, and hopefully one of them will correspond to this one. So b plus 2 squared, that means there's two solutions, and b is minus 2. So it's going to correspond to here. So there's two solutions there. Okay, now for the next solution, we need to solve this quadratic, and we're going to hope that one of the solutions is somewhere in between 0 and 4. Okay, so can we factor this quadratic out here to find the other two solutions? Well, we've got 20 and 1 factors of 20, that's not going to work. 10 and 2, that's not going to work. 5 and 4, that's not going to work either. So we're going to need the quadratic formula. So A is 3, B equals minus 20, and C equals positive 20. Okay, quadratic formula, minus B, minus 20, plus or minus the square root, B squared minus 20 squared is 400, minus 4 times A times C. So minus 4 times 3, that's 4 3s are 12, and 12 times 20 is 240, so it's minus 240. That's over 2a, that's 2 times 3, which is 6, and this is for our B. So now B equals 20 plus or minus square root. 400 minus 240 is 160, and again this is over 6. Okay, can we do something with this surd here, square root of 160, to get a factor of 6? So square root of 160, could we get a 36 out of that? I'm not sure we're going to be that lucky, but we'll have a go. Square root of 160, that's square root of 4 square root of 40, which will give us 2 root 40. Square root of 40 again will split up into 2 times square root of 4 square root of 10. So that then gives us, that's now 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, so that's 4 root 10. Okay, square root of 10, nothing else we can do there. So let's just put that in here now. 20 over 6 plus or minus 4 root 10. Okay, so now we've got 20 will divide by 6, that will give us 10 over 3. So that we've taken care of that. And then we'll have plus or minus 4/6 times root 10. So plus or minus 2/3 times root 10. Okay, square root of 10 we know is approximately just above 3. 3 2s are 6. 6 over 3 will give us 2. So this is going to be just over 5. So one solution is plus 10 over 3 plus 2/3 of root 10. And the other solution will give us 10/3 minus 2/3 root 10. Okay, so root 10 is just above 3. 3 2s are 6. 6 over 3 is 2, so that's just above 2. So 10 over 3 minus 2 will give us around about 1.3-ish. So that's going to be just perfect for us to be in here. So our exit point here will be B equals this one and B equals this one. Now this is the one that's on the graph here.